Alright, well, hello everyone. This is my second video that I've made on the channel. If you haven't already, check out the first video of Chris's News and Politics. It's basically an introductory video talking about what I plan to do on this channel, essentially. But anyways, if you like what you're seeing today, be sure to subscribe, like, comment, share the video with friends. Alright, let's get into it. So, today, Facebook announces Civil Rights Task Force to fight meddling in 2020 election and census. The future's private. Well, I'll get back to that in a second. Anyways, Facebook launched a Civil Rights Task Force and an election monitoring center to guard against interference in the 2020 presidential campaign and census, the tech giant said Sunday. So, there's two ways you can interpret this. You can interpret this as, is Facebook going to safeguard that the election not be interfered with by Russian bots? Or is it going to censor what it believes will impact the outcome of the election? If it's the former, then that means that good, right? It means for the betterment of the election, foreign adversaries won't be able to impact the outcome. Okay, that's good. On the latter, well, that means that if they include the former in the latter, then foreign adversaries will be censored, but so will people who have genuine opinions in this country. That's not good. And I would assume with the previous track record of Facebook that it would be the latter. That's my personal opinion. The Facebook task force chaired by COO Sheryl Sandberg follows pressure from civil rights groups and minorities who say the company has not done enough to combat anti-democratic tactics. Well, it says such as voter intimidation and suppression. Voter intimidation isn't really a tactic, because if you have the drive to go vote, you will go vote, regardless of what you see and what you say, or what you see other people say, And suppression. Well, how do you suppress someone through social media? You don't, really. I mean, I guess you could say that your vote means nothing, don't go vote. But I see it from both sides whenever an election comes up and they need you to vote. They say the most important thing you need to do is go out and vote. That's the truth. Without your vote, they're nothing. Without their vote, without your vote, your opinion doesn't matter. Without the vote, of course, your opinion matters, but if you don't vote, then your opinion doesn't matter because you're not taking your opinions to action. So, without your vote, things won't change. Without your vote, this country won't go in a direction that you see fit. However your ideals look, however your optics look, it doesn't matter. Your vote matters because you voted. It's guaranteed to you by the Constitution. Okay, now, moving on, the moves underscore worries of a new boom in political interference as the United States enters a pivotal campaign season. Well, yes, to this extent, I agree with CNN on this one, that Russia should not have interfered in the U.S. elections. However, the way that Facebook classifies that Russia interfered in the U.S. elections is simply by saying bot accounts spammed fake news. As much as I hate to say it, it's the American people's job to dictate what to them is genuine and fake news. Not the tech giant. Not the tech oligopoly. I'm sorry to say that, but it's the truth. Because as Thomas Jefferson said, it is the job of the American people to best inform themselves on which candidate is the best for office. It's that simple. You read enough news, you do enough of your own research, because reading news at this point is not enough. You need to do your own research as well. Look at statistics, just a little bit, just look at the trends. That's all statistics is looking at the trends and figuring out what the conclusions of those trends are. You'll get a better picture of what your candidate's advocating for, what they're telling you, and if they're telling the truth. Facebook, and this is, again, my opinion, first of all, it's backed by some facts. Should not be regulating what you say and cannot say on, get ready for this, their platform. Because even though it is theirs and they are a private company. The platform's global, and not one person that we've elected from Silicon Valley should be able to dictate what you can and can't say under the U.S.'s Constitution. That's the bottom line. Some people don't see it that way. I see it that way only because of the fact that your voice matters on the internet. So if they have the right to dictate what you can and can't say on the internet, well then, by golly, I guess it is George Orwell all over again. But, we move on and we say, and we look at, we're going to treat next year's census like an election, she wrote, with people, policies, and technology in place to protect against census interference. What exactly is census interference, you may ask? Well, in this case, Facebook sees census interference as asking if you're an illegal immigrant or not. Which, by the way, shouldn't hurt the census. It should help the census. But apparently it hurts the census because Facebook and a lot of people on the left believe that ICE agents will hunt you down after answering the census. ICE is in a completely different department in the Homeland Security Department than the Census Bureau. Completely different department. Domestic Affairs. Yet, somehow, that data will get handed right over to ICE, and then ICE will go hunt down every single person on that list with their name and address. I don't believe it. That sounds more cynical than Facebook dictating that you can't say, well, men aren't women though, even though that was on Twitter, and having their voice and having your voice stripped from you just because you said something and it's a little bit confrontational, but you get to still say it because it doesn't impeach on free speech because it's not hate speech. A lot of activists like to try and change the definition of free speech to benefit themselves. I'm starting to see that a lot now, mostly on the left, whereas people on the right tend to just say, you're entitled to what you say, and I may not like what you say, but I'm going to die for your right to say it. That's what a lot of people on the right say. I agree with that sentiment, but as a centrist, a lot of people just want to see public discourse because it's guaranteed in the Constitution. Why is it that centrists agree with conservatives more than centrists agree with liberals? Or the far left? Because centrists agree with liberals to some extent about the freedoms that are guaranteed to you by the Constitution. I don't know why centrists can't agree with the far left, but they can agree with conservatives. Or at least, it would take a long time for me to figure that out. Anyways, the whole point that I'm trying to get by making this video is that it's just another article saying that Facebook is making a task force, increasing transparency. How do you increase transparency? By filtering out the garbage? By saying that the garbage is irrelevant and that it's blocking the clearer picture. So here's what's happening. Facebook has a ulterior motive, an MO, a modus operandum, and every company does, to their own self-interest, right? Everybody operates in their own self-interest, even Facebook. In their modus operandum, Facebook sees that people who don't hold the same worldviews as them are cluttering the image of Facebook on their platform. So therefore, they think that they should be able to dictate what people can and can't say on their platform. I think that's a very big problem. I think that's dangerous, but I don't think that it's the end of the world just yet. I say just yet, as though the end of the world will come. But I don't think the end of the world will come from online censorship. It didn't come when Alex Jones got censored. It didn't come when Steven Crowder almost got censored. Because Steven Crowder got partially censored. He's still fighting it in the courts. When will it come? When will conservatives say that's enough? I have no idea. But I certainly don't think it's going to be because of online censorship. It's going to be because of activism on the streets. For sure, 100%. Facebook is banning misinformation. We already saw that. We already saw all of this stuff. It's something that we haven't seen yet. They're widely criticized for allowing trolling and misinformation on their sites in the lead up to the 2016 election. Well, to tell you the truth, if people are gonna make memes, if people are gonna say lies, as long as they're not inciting violence under the First Amendment, they're guaranteed to say those things. Just like sometimes I may not like this bully that I had in elementary school posting things on Instagram about me and how I'm a bad person, or tweeting about me. It's probably more likely that they're tweeting about me, that they don't like me. Just because I don't like what they're saying doesn't mean that they're breaking the law. That's as simple as that. However, I digress. Facebook goes on and they say that this is an add-on. The Trump administration's attempt to add a last-minute citizenship question on the census, though it has been temporarily blocked by the Supreme Court, SCOTUS, sets the stage for further confusion. Fake news, real consequences. So here's the MO of fake. Here's the real picture. Facebook believes that fake news leads to consequences. In this case, Donald Trump being elected. That is what I'm getting from this. Is that Facebook is creating this task force so that fake news does not become prevalent in the next election, which it shouldn't matter, because as long as it's not harassing somebody, or as long as it's not slandering somebody, then you can literally say that the moon is red, and no one should be able to stop you. Or in this case, you should be able to say that XXX Tentacion is a woman beater, and he's dead. Should people be like, "Whoa, man, you can't say that. You're slandering him"? Well, if there are accounts of XXX Tentacion beating his girlfriend, and there are testimonies from his girlfriend, and there's records on the book, is it really slander, or is it the truth? We don't know, apparently. But Facebook could take stuff like that and say, well, I mean, we don't like that. It's blocking our picture here. You're cluttering up our website. Get out of here. That's essentially what's happening. And that's what I think is the scariest part. Is that you have all these people. Sundar Pichai, who else did we see? Eric Schmidt. Those are people at Google. We got I'm just looking at all the CEOs and stuff from these tech companies. You got, or like people that we haven't elected at these tech companies, right? You got, I don't know how to say the first name of this woman, but Gadi. There you go, Gadi, Miss Gadi. I know it's a she because I saw her in not Alex Jones, the Joe Rogan podcast. And Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter. These are people along with Mark Zuckerberg. These are people along with Mark Zuckerberg that believe that you are causing a problem on the internet for stating something that is against their status quo. And they will take you down because of it. That is scary. Big Brother is always watching. Apparently, it means that they're going to go for your throat when you're not looking. So, with that, I end by saying that I hope people are smart enough to understand that these companies don't have your best interest in hand. That rhymed. It was weird. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video today. Go ahead and take what you want out of this situation. Little grain of salt. I don't know. Take it with a little grain of salt, probably. And then in the future, when we look back and say, oh, something happened. But there were clues leading up to it all along. Anyways, guys, that's going to be it for this video. If you like what you saw, if you like what you heard, go ahead and subscribe and hit the bell button to get notifications. And like and share with friends. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. This has been Chris's News and Politics. Thank you for watching.